Welcome to day 6 of Arthur's geography class, and today we'll be well, evaluating life expectancy, uh, infant or child mortality, health-adjusted life expectancy, calorie intake, and access to safe drinking water as indicators of health. So starting off with life expectancy, it basically is the average amount of years a person lives within a region or a nation. So this is usually usually the population is divided between men and women, since they have varied life expectancy, and women tend to live longer. The pros is that there's a strong correlation between the amount of years a person lives and how healthy they are. So if a population tends to be unhealthy, they tend to die younger, such as South Africa with a life expectancy of around 40, 45. But if the person is healthy, they tend to live longer, such as Sweden or even Japan that has years going up to 85, 86. But the con is that it also takes into consideration conflict, civil conflict or any other types of war, other types of conflict, even accidents, car accidents. So yeah, it also takes into death through non-disease or non-health related issues into consideration, which skewers the data. Next is child and infant mortality rate. The difference between child and infant mortality rate is that a child mortality rate measures or is the number of children who dies under the year 5, under 5 years old, out of 1,000, and infant is how many infants under the year under 1 years old die out of 1,000. And so there's a strong correlation between infant mortality rate and the health of the mother, since usually if a mother is unhealthy, their infant would usually die shortly after. Or it also indicates the hygiene or the health of the region, of the nation, for a child to die under the age of 5 tends to mean that there's a health related issue, since children are a bit weaker, their immune system isn't as strong, so they tend to die. But the con of this is that it only measures the health of children or infants, or even the mother that birthed them. So if the mother had AIDS, the children would have AIDS, so there's a strong chance that they will die. But it doesn't look at women that aren't mothers, or even adult males, adult men. We don't really. I know it's like the man had AIDS and gave it, but doesn't really look at a big spectrum of the population. Just maybe the environment, or so on. So the next one is health adjusted life expectancy. It's also known as HALE, HALE, and it basically is the measurement of the amount of years a person lives a healthy life. So it's basically the life expectancy, but you subtract the amount of years that they live unhealthily. And it's one of the few measurements which takes into account, the state of the person's living. Even if somebody has a life expectancy of 7 years old but had, cancer or AIDS for majority of their life, they get considered to be healthy, which is another con of life expectancy. It doesn't consider these chronic diseases, or it does, but if a person lives a long amount of time, they could be considered healthy, but which in fact they aren't healthy. Yeah. But the con of this is that some diseases kill quick. If someone contracts a disease such as Ebola or rabies, which is known to kill in a few days or weeks, you could say that, they had a pretty healthy life. 90% of their life they've been healthy. But maybe the area has too much Ebola or too much AIDS, and as soon as they get it, they die at 30 years old. But HALE doesn't measure this, and it just says, their 90% healthy life. So it doesn't take that into consideration. Next health measurement is calorie intake, and it's pro since in order for a person to be healthy, to be considered healthy, they need to eat around 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day. And so it's very easy to see whether or not the person is, unhealthy or healthy by whether they're eating too much. They're eating over like 3,000 calories a day, which can lead to health implications such as diabetes or chronic heart disease, or they're eating too little, which can lead to hunger or malnutrition. So there's strong health implications, health issues related to calorie intake. However, calorie intake does not really take into consideration types of food a person's eating, because a person needs to eat a variety of foods. However, you just look at the calories. You don't look at, so a person could be eating literally cheeseburgers or rice, 2,000 calories of rice and cheeseburgers a day, but that isn't enough to that isn't sufficient to maintain a healthy diet. If a person eats healthy amount of vegetables or fruits, meats, calories. They need a variety of food, which this doesn't measure. And the last one is access to safe drinking water. Much like calorie intake, there's a lot of implications between, safe drinking water or dirty drinking water and health for people people who do not have access to safe drinking water tend to have a lot of, waterborne diseases and health-related issues due to that. And it's a very good type of measurements for the more critical, like LEDCs in a more critical condition, such as the Horn of Africa at the moment, where they're under a famine. So it's a strong indication that, look at their access to drinking water, might not be so high. But however, this form of measurement isn't so useful in maybe more developed countries, which with the majority, if not all, of the population has access to safe drinking water. So it's only viable for a small portion or a small percentage of the world, the more deprived percent, which they don't have access to safe drinking water. Maybe not a country, but maybe a region within a country, or deprived region of a country. But it does take consideration, maybe because there's a lot of diseases which do occur in countries that have safe drinking water, such as majority of Eastern Europeans might be suffering from lung cancer or other related issues. So yeah, that is all of them. See you next week, and this episode's a bit long, but